Okay, so I thought I would talk about today is what three rods do you actually need for fishing for bass or whatever. Okay, what three rods? With three rods, you can do just about 85% of most fishing. Okay, you can even go down to two. Okay, so I'm going to show you one. If you only had to have one rod, what would it be? Then two, and then three. Okay, you don't need any more than three. Okay, so for starters, the first rod you need is a 7 foot, 6.5 or 7 foot. Okay, spinning rod. Whatever brand it is, it is. Now this is mine. I have a Akuma Simar and a Peregree 2 rod by KastKing. I went over this in another video. I'm not going to talk about brands. Okay, whatever the brand is, it's up to you. But you need a 6.5 or 7 foot medium action spinning rod. Okay. Now, this is going to handle. If you only had one rod, this would be the rod you need, because you can do just about everything with this rod. Okay, you can do finesse stuff. You can throw spinner baits, crank baits, jerk baits. Okay, Texas rig. You can do just about anything on this rod. Now, when you have three rods, it'll probably designate it to your finesse stuff. Obviously, if you only had one rod, then you're going to do more things with it. Okay, but if you're going to have three rods, which is the most you ever need, this would probably be your rod you use the most for, like plastics, Senkos, shaky heads, jerk baits, flukes, anything like that. The spinning, medium action spinning is going to be your best bet. Now, the weight you need to understand is when you look at these rods, okay, is the weight. This particular one is a two-tip rod, which is why I have two sets of weights. But we're going to concern ourselves with the medium power. 6 to 10 pound. Okay, with a lure weight of 1/8 to a 1/2 ounce. That's a lot of lure size there. That's more than enough lure size you need for just about anything, from panfish all the way up to pike. Okay, if you only were going to have one rod, this is the rod to go with. A spinning rod with these kind of specs. Okay, I would put braid on it like I have on mine. Okay, I just put some suffix on. I would put braid anywhere from 10 to 15 pound braid is good enough. I got 10. I'm a bank angler. I'm always looking for more distance, so I go with the lightest I can get away with. If you like mono is fine. There's a lot of good monos out there. Trilene. You'd want to go like 8 pound, 8 to 10 pound on the mono. I wouldn't go fluorocarbon on a spinning rod, because fluorocarbon coils up and it's very hard to manage on a spinning rod. I know some guys do it. I don't recommend it. I don't really use fluorocarbon for anything but leaders. Okay, but that's just me. That's just personal, my personal preference. So the first rod has to be a 6.5 or 7 foot spinning rod. This is going to do a lot of things for you. If you can only get one rod and reel setup, this is the one you need. Okay, you start out with this. Okay, so now if you're going to add a second rod, the next one should be a medium heavy, same length, 6.5 or 7 foot. And if some of you want 6 foot, that's fine. Okay, a 7 foot casting, medium heavy. This is also a very versatile setup. Okay, now with this one, you're gonna do a lot of your single hook applications. Your 1/4 ounce to 3/4 ounce spinner baits. You're gonna throw on this your jig and crawl if you're fishing the bottom. What else? You're gonna throw maybe some top water on this. Okay. What else? The larger swim baits, Texas rig stuff. Okay. Especially when you're fishing in a little bit heavier cover. Okay. So you're going to get the bait caster of your choice. I have a Abu Garcia. I'm fond of Abu Garcias, but that's me. You pick the one you want, get the rod you want. Okay. This can also do in a pinch frogging. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, I use a heavy broomstick for my frogging with 65-pound braid and all that, and that's fine. I'm not a big frogging fisherman. I don't like to do that too much, to be honest with you. Once in a while, I get the itch to do that. And if I do it on this. I don't buy an extra specialty rod unless you're in love with that kind of fishing. Okay. Would this make the ultimate frogging rod? Absolutely not. Can I do it for a day if I just get the itch to do some frogging with this? Yes, I can. This is 45-pound braid. Okay. I've done it with 30-pound braid. So if you just do it once in a while, this will work more than enough for that. Okay. So this is a great all-around rod. This is going to handle some of your bigger fish. If you want to throw some bigger presentations, here I got a spinner bait on it, as you can see. Okay. You want to use anywhere from 12 to 20-pound mono or fluorocarbon, or you want to use anywhere between 30 and 50-pound braid. I got 45, but this is a Japanese line. It's thin. It's about the thinness of 30. Okay. And this is my medium heavy setup. Okay. Number 5 MEP spinners I'll throw on here. Let's see, whopper ploppers I'll use this for. Anything like that. Okay, some treble hook stuff, as I mentioned, but it's mostly single hook stuff. Okay, Texas rig, Rage Craws, things like that. Okay. Now, the weight on this, okay, this is 7-foot medium heavy. Okay, with a line weight of 10 to 20-pound line. And they're talking about mono there. And a lure weight of, let's see if I can see it here. Three-eighths to 1 ounce. 3/8 to 1 ounce. So now you're starting to get into your little bit bigger lures. If you can't catch anything in that lure weight size, I don't know what to tell you. You don't really need anything bigger than that, to be honest with you. I don't care if it's musky. I know you see a lot of guys throwing these monstrous lures. Okay. For bank anglers, you don't need that. You do not need that. Okay. I see most big fish caught on smaller lures. Okay, that's just me. But anyways, this medium heavy is another all-around multi-application rod. Between this one and the spinning one I just showed you, you could probably do most stuff with just those two. Okay, if you're gonna only have 2 rods, those would be the 2. One medium heavy casting and the one spinning medium action, like I showed you. And you can cover most things just with those two rods, okay? So there you have that. Now, for the third rod, this is going to be more preference, okay? I'm going to put an asterisk behind the third one, okay? Because a lot of that is going to be based on your fishing style, okay? Now, some guys will tell you you should probably go with a heavy. Now, if you fish in Florida and you're doing a lot of Florida Everglade fishing where you're in thick lily pads and all that kind of stuff, then yes. But see, I don't do that kind of fishing. Okay, I'm not even into too much heavy cover weed. I mean, I do what I can off the bank because I'm a bank angler, you know. But I'm really not into, you know, frogging and things like that. Okay, what I am into though is I love crankbaits. Whether it's lipless crankbait like the one I got here, square bill, it's usually a square bill or a lipless. If there was one bait for me, it's a crankbait. I just love slinging crankbaits. To the point where I put together a specialty rod. Now again, there's an asterisk behind this. So if you're gonna get a third one, I would say that's gonna be based on what you like to do the most. If you like to do frogging and heavy cover fishing, get yourself a heavy broomstick with the, you know, 65-pound braid and have at it. Or the other end of the spectrum, okay, is a treble hook rod. Now this setup is a 7-foot casting, medium action, mediate, moderate. As you can see you see the play there. Okay, medium, moderate fast. Okay, which means I want some bend in it. Okay, I want some bend in it. It bends around almost a halfway point, which is perfect for crankbaits. Okay, which is perfect for crankbaits. All right, so you get yourself a bait caster on that. I use 6. I forgot the gear ratio on this, 6.6, I think, something or other. It's like 26 inch per turn, which is fine for crankbaits. And on this, you're gonna put mono. For crankbaits, I use only mono. I love mono for crankbaits. I want the stretch. Okay, mono has stretch, I want the stretch. Okay, because a lot of times these fish, they slam those crankbaits. So between that moderate action tip and a little bit of stretch, that helps with the, you know, especially with hard hitting fish. Okay. So that's my third one. And again, this is optional. You can throw the crankbait on your spinning rod if you want. You can throw bigger crankbaits on your medium heavy. Okay. But if you're gonna have a third one, this again, this is at least my option. Okay. So there you have it. A 7-foot medium spinning, a 7-foot medium heavy casting, and a 7-foot moderate fast casting. Okay, and that'll cover about 85% with between these 3 rods. Okay. Okay. 85% of all the applications out there. Okay, there you have it. Later.